I want to apologize, not to Brandy Zadrozny, but to you, the audience, for the intemperate language I used in my last TikTok. I use language I rarely use. But when you see someone pop up in your feed who has practiced disinformation towards you, to get ahead and to plant herself as a fucking disinformation expert, and God, I really hate being aligned in any way with that fuckface Tucker Carlson. But when you see that, and you see this person absolutely insist that she's a fucking journalist when she is not, when she would rather spread rumors, hearsay, libel, lies, and disinformation about people she does not agree with, that is morally bankrupt. That goes well beyond Janet Malcolm's famous passage in The Journalist and the Murderer, that great opening paragraph. If you have not read that book, you definitely should. Brandy was absolutely eager to take me out, as was the corporate media, because I had a forum entirely earned on my own merits outside of the corporate media structure, in which I talked to Nobel laureates, Oscar winners, famous singers. I talked to Weird Al Yankovic, Bonnie Tyler. I talked to everyone. And I wanted my show to be a forum for the people. All right? My goal was taking desiccated and unsexy subjects and making them entertaining through my joke cracking and my gift for gab, which I suppose is the same ethos I have here on TikTok. And the corporate media hated the fact that I did this. So instead of actually going after me on the merits, they went after me during a particularly vulnerable period in my life in which I was having a mental breakdown and I was homeless. And they published all sorts of libelous, lie-infested, disinformation-happy articles, knowing that I was homeless, knowing that I did not have the funds to sue them for lies and libel. And that by the time I got out of this fucking hole, which I did, the statute of limitations had already fucking passed, right? So I can't do anything about this other than respond. Every single mistake that I have ever made in my life, I have always been transparent about. When all of these hit pieces were made about me, I did a 50,000 word article in which I reported on myself because I was like, all right, why am I coming across this way? There's got to be something to these impressions. And I debunked pretty much all of the claims and acknowledged what actually fucking happened. And I was roped in to fucking evil men when I really went out of my way on my fucking podcast to profile women writers, to treat them with respect, and give these intelligent, perspicacious women the forum that they deserved, the thoughtfulness that they deserved. I did this for people of color. I did this for anyone who was marginalized, indie, and underground, and I mixed them up with the heavy hitters. You know, it's just deeply fucking infuriating. And I own, like I said, everything I have done wrong. But the one thing you do not do if you are a journalist, if you are really a fucking journalist, is to outright smear people with lies and disinformation. You have an obligation to get the facts correct. Brandy did not do that. And she used her position at the Daily Beast and weaponized it against me to add legitimacy to a false narrative about me that to this very day still is believed. Not by you guys. I mean, I've told you guys about this, and many of you have contacted me understanding my intent and my benevolence, and I appreciate that tremendously, and I've talked to a lot of you on the phone. But the reality is that if you have a voice like mine, which is loud, fierce, give no fucks, you have a fucking target right on your fucking chest. And I accept that responsibility as well. But I can't be anybody other than who I am. And I will continue to call out disinformation and bullshit from the right and the left. And Brandy Zadrozny is one of the worst fucking people on the left who claims to be exposing disinformation when she fucking practices it. And I am just completely livid that she would complain about disinformation when she practices it herself and is not a very good journalist. So, hope you can understand. I'm now going to write and have a lot of fun and a lot of peace and a lot of happiness.